Diamond 88.7 FM, we give credible, factual, balanced reports at all time. Join us as we take you around the globe on the world news. Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
From the news desk at Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin, this is news around the world.
In the headlines today, Trump threatens more strikes in Nigeria if attack in Christmas the Christians persist. Resident doctors set to strikes nationwide on January 12th over unresolved welfare issues. And coming on to the Ofonsin and Kwara State, Bandit demand 400 million fund items for release of the 22 captives. On the foreign scene, Trump strengthens further strikes on Venezuela amid prisoners' releases. Moving on to the business news, Dangote drags ex-HNMD LPRL boss Farouk Ahmed, EFCC over corruption claims. In the world of the entertainment news, Nollywood actress Orwell Ademola laid to rest in Lagos. AFCON 2025 chill opens up on Super Eagles bonus issues ahead of Algeria clash. That is from the world of sport. Good evening and thanks for listening to the news across the world on Diamond 887 FM Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. I am Precious Afolabi, and you can listen to us via our website www.diamondfm.net or watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM. You can also download the app in Google Play Store, Diamond 887 FM. Please, we'll go for a short break. Then after the short break, we'll come for the details of the news.
Mental health breakdowns sound like this.
I'm emotionally stressed. I'm emotionally downcast. I am so confused of all about life.
But in reality, they can sound like this. Don't make assumptions that people are okay just because they laugh and they smile. Everyone is going through something. Check on your friends and be kind to everyone else.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
Welcome back. Now the news and details. U.S. President Donald Trump has warned that the United States could carry out additional military strikes in Nigeria if attack on Christians continues. And Trump issues the warning during an interview with the newsman, where he was asked whether recent Christmas Day missile strikes against Islamic State targets marks the beginning of the broader campaign. The strikes follows earlier threats by Trump to deploy U.S. troops to Nigeria to combat terrorist groups accused of killing Christians. While Nigerians reportedly retains control over decisions making surrounding the operation, Trump said further actions remains an option. Moving away from that, the authorities in Jersey have announced plans to repatriate over $9.5 million to the Nigerian government following a December Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the Attorney General for Jersey, Mark Temple Casey, and Nigeria. The funds are embarked to support infrastructure projects, including the final stages of the highway linking Abuja and Lagos. These repatriations build on two previous agreements between Nigeria and Jersey that saw over $300 million returned from accounts held on the highland. noting that the Nigeria Attorney General and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi describes the recovery as evidence of successful international collaborations in tackling illicit acquired wealth and ensuring that foreign jurisdictions do not serve as a safe haven for corruption. Resident doctors across Nigeria have announced plans to resume a nationwide strike starting midnight on January 12th, citing unresolved salaries arrears, unpaid promotions, and professional allowance disputes. Nigerian Associations of Resident Doctors and NERD made the announcement following the emergency National Executive Council meeting on January 2nd, warning that the strikes will continue until all demands are fully met. NERD President Mohammed Suleiman Usman stated that the industrial actions include the reinstatement of 5 doctors at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Lokoja and full implementations of the specialist and professional allowances. The association has directed its 91 center nationwide to hold a meeting and the media engagements to prepare for the action, highlighting the federal government's continued inaction on long-standing welfare issues. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has pledged to conduct free, fair, and technologically driven elections in 2027 with a goal of setting a new standard for electoral integrity in Africa. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amopita made the declarations on Friday in Lagos while addressing the Commission's 2026 inductions and the strategic retreat for its leadership and the senior officials. He emphasized that the Commission has a golden opportunity to rewrite the history of elections in Nigeria and build on the institutions recognized globally for transparency and efficiency. Moving on, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shuaibu, has charged troops of the Nigerian Army 6 divisions to carry out their duty professionally and intensify security operations to boost oil production in Niger Delta region. He gave the charge on Friday during his maiden operational visit to the headquarters of the 6th Division and the Port Harcourt Barracks, River State. In a statement by the Army spokesperson, Colonel Apollonia Enele, the COAS also urged the troops to remain steadfast in protecting crucial national infrastructure. He reassured officers and soldiers that their welfare remains a top priority, noting that his ongoing visits to formation and units are aimed at assessing operational readiness and addressing challenges facing the personnel. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) has arraigned an Australian national Kavlak owner for allegedly failing to declare $578,575 and $651,564 at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. Ano was arraigned on Friday before Justice Yelim Bogoro of the Federal High Court, Lagos, on the 2-count charges bordering on money laundering. And according to the EFCC, the defendant failed to declare the foreign currencies to Nigeria Customs Service during an outward clearance process on December 13, 2025. In a violation of Section 3(5) of the Money Laundering Prohibitions and Prevention Act 2022, the defendant pleaded not guilty to the charges, while the prosecution said he was arrested by an officer of the Customs Anti-Money Laundering Unit where attempting to travel to Australia. At least 22 persons are currently being held captive by bandits across several communities in Kwara South, with the abductors that demanded over 400 million naira alongside foods and drinks for their release. The affected communities include Adanla, Asaba, Isan Luisi, and Owa Onire. area reportedly lacking sufficient security presence following the relocations of a bandit from community with military bases. Among those in captivity are 9 persons abducted in Adanla during a failed attempt to kidnap the community monarch on December 26, 2025, with bandit insisting on a 300 million ransom. The Sapa community, 11 persons remains in captivity, with abductors demanding 35 million after earlier negotiations collapsed. 2 other victims abductors in Owaonire in December are also still being held, according to the traditional rulers in the areas. Community leaders has lamented the poorer security situations and appealed to Kwara state government for urgent intervention, including the establishment of police station and enhanced patrols. The news across the world is reaching you from Diamond 887 FM, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. We're going to break now. When we return, we'll bring you entertainment, business, and sport news. Please stay with us.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
Welcome back from that break. You're still listening to the news across the world, reaching you from Diamond 887 FM in Lorry, Kwara State, Nigeria. Now we move to the foreign stories. And from the foreign stories today, U.S. President Donald Trump on Friday said he had called off a second wave of military strikes in Venezuela after the country's news authority began releasing political prisoners. Trump's made the remark as Washington announced fresh action to enforce an oil embargo on Venezuela, including the seizure of another tanker, reinforcing U.S. leverage over the oil-rich nation. In a post on Truth social media, Trump said that the prisoner releases were a sign that Venezuela was seeking peace, prompting him to suspend the planned attacks. As the releases follows a deadly January 3rd raid in which U.S. forces removed the president Nicolas Maduro after his deputy Delcy Rodriguez assumes interim leadership. Still on the foreign scene, the Senegal Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko has ruled out seeking debt disrupting despite the country is facing significant repayment pressure. Sanko made this known while speaking at the joint press conference with Mauritanian Prime Minister, insisting there are alternative ways to investigate the financial crisis without negotiating the debt terms. And his remarks came after the International Monetary Fund, IMF, disclosed that Senegal public debt rose to 132% of GDP by end of 2024, prompting the funds to suspend a $1.8 billion lending programs. Sanko maintains that the Senegal's debts remain sustainable and accused the previous administrations of former President Macky Sall of concealing the truth scale of the country's liabilities. And now moving on to the business news.
Diamond FM Business News.
And on business news today, Chairman of Dangote Industry, Aliko Dangote, has petitions the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over corruption allegations against the former managing director of the Nigerian Mainstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed. The move was disclosed on Friday in a statement issued by the Dangote Group. The group had earlier submitted a similar petition to the Independent Corruption Practice Commission or the related offences, ICPC, accusing Ahmed of allegedly spending about $5 million on his children's secondary education in Switzerland. Although the petitions was withdrawn from the ICPC, the commission had said it will continue its investigation. In accordance to the statement, the petitions to the EFCC was a strategic step aimed at accelerating prosecution. And now moving on to the entertainment news.
Diamond FM Entertainment News.
On entertainment news, the funeral of Nollywood actress Orwell Ademola was held on Friday in Lagos, with family, friends and colleagues gathering to celebrate her life and contributions to the Nigerian film industry. Ademola was 49, passed away on December 27th after suffering a heart attack at a residence. The final rite began with the candlelight processions and service of songs at Lagos State Television's Ikeja before her burial at Atta Cemetery in Yaba. The ceremony was marked by emotional tributes from colleagues who described her as a versatile and passionate creative force in Nollywood. And now moving on to the sport news.
Diamond FM Sports News.
And on sport news today, Super Eagles head coach Eric Chill has addressed concerns over the unpaid win bonuses and allowances at the ongoing AFCON 2025, saying the situations nearly affects the team progress, but insisting his focus is remain on the pitch. And speaking at this pre-match pre-conference on Friday, Chill said such matters should be handled by the federation, stressing that his responsibility is to prepare the team for matches. And the coach expressed confidence in Super Eagles' mental, physical and tactical readiness ahead of their quarter-final clash against Algeria. Chill noted that his players have maintained a positive state of mind despite recent distractions, adding that the technical crew had worked on exploiting the opponent's weaknesses while managing the pressure that comes with the knockout games. Algeria defender Rayan Hait Nouri has acknowledged the challenges that his team will face against Nigeria in the 2025 African Cup of Nations quarter-final. The Desert Foxes have been dominant so far, winning all their group's matches and their round of 16 clash against the Democratic Republic of Congo without conceding a goal. Speaking ahead of the match, Marrakesh at the Nouri, who plays at the Manchester City, stressed on Nigeria, will be a formidable opponent. And with that, we have come to the end of the news across the world. But before we go, here is the recap of the major highlights. Trump strengthens more strike in Nigeria if attack on the Christians persist. A resident doctor says to strikes nationwide since January 12 over unresolved welfare issues. Bandits demand 400 million phone items for release of 22 captives. Trump threatens further strikes on Venezuela amid prisoners' releases. Dangote drags ex-NMDPRA boss Farouk Ahmed to EFCC for corruption claims. And the world of entertainment news, Nollywood actress Orwell Ademola laid to rest in Lagos. Last name of the water sport AFCON 2025. Chelsea opens up Super Eagles bonus issues ahead Algeria clash. Do you know segments today? Do you know segment on this day in 1999 gubernatorial elections were held across several Nigerian states, including Yobe, Taraba, Kano, Osun, and Lagos State, as part of the transitions from the military to civilian rule. If you don't know, now you know. For coverage or information about happenings around you, kindly contact Diamond FM on this number 0916 062 7526. The news was compiled and edited by Adeyemi Adewale, and I am Precious Afolabi. D. Many thanks for listening to your shining supreme station.
This is Diamond FM.